Paul LaPolice joins us from the CFL on TSN and Lapo. I'm going to start with this as we come out of Week 17. I feel this is the zaniest season in CFL history in terms of crazy things happening. You agree with me?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of weeks ago, they said, oh, let's pick the most outstanding player in the CFL. 2 weeks ago, they asked me to do that on the panel. And I was like, okay, that's not easy. I think it's going to take the last 4 weeks to decide who is the most outstanding player. Then this past week, say, oh, tell us who your CFL All-Stars are. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, it's still up in the air on who's the best quarterback in the CFL, who brings the most. And then who's going to win the Grey Cup? Obviously we understand Winnipeg is at an elite level. Montreal's played at elite level, but they've had a couple losses. So it looks like there's one team that's performing like Montreal did, Winnipeg last year, and there's another one, Hamilton's performed pretty well. But besides that, everybody else has a chance, except for the couple of teams will be out, and we still don't know who will be out. So it is a crazy year. It's great that there's a lot of games in conference too down the stretch, Rod.
And that part they always get right. The final third is always interdivisional. It's like you guys battle it out amongst yourself, but it's like 3 different seasons. The Riders were 4-0, 5-1. Then they're unbeaten in 7. Now they're getting their act together. Bombers started 0-4. You knew everybody was ready to light the stadium on fire. Now look at them. Like, that's the thing. You've coached in this league so long. It's a long-ass season, right? You got time to figure it out.
And I think comparable to, you think about the NFL when you see the stats. There's no teams at 0-2 have ever won the Super Bowl, or no teams at 0-3 have made the playoffs. It's really interesting. I was looking at that yesterday. Yeah, you just have to have an understanding. I did a study when I was the head coach to educate the players. Like, if you want to get first place, you have to have at least one 5-game win streak. And I remember that was, I think, our 2011 season where we won. We started out 7-1, and we had a 5-game win streak, and that put us in a position to win first place. So you have to go on a stretch where you win a bunch of games, and obviously obviously Winnipeg's done that, Montreal's done that, even Ottawa went on a stretch winning a bunch of home games. So that's why they're still in contention for second place. So you have to play consistent football at some point through the season to put you where you need to be.
You are a offensive guy, so please tell me what you're seeing out of Nathan Rourke. 2-4 since he came back.
Yeah, there's a number of things. It sometimes is a team game. I think defensively, you can't let Bo Levi Mitchell go 20. Nathan Rourke's not on the field when they go 25-26 or whatever. Bo Levi Mitchell, so we can't pin it all on Nathan. But they just don't. They're not staying on the field like they used to with Nathan Rourke. You get first down after first downs on first down. So they're struggling to make completions. And I think they've struggled a little bit with their pass protection. They've struggled to protect him long enough. It doesn't matter if it's Nathan or somebody else. It's going to be difficult. And you'll hear me talk about on a SportsCenter hit this week that maybe it is time to give Vernon Adams an opportunity. He's got the mobility to help if the pass protection is breaking down. And he certainly was playing. He was the MOP candidate after 5 games, just like anything else. Now is it Bo Levi Mitchell? There's so many. Is it Brady Oliveira? There's so many different people. But Vernon Adams did some good things. Maybe it's just a chance for the BC to do a reset and give him an opportunity.
You think that? Hey, don't just slip that in there. You think they might do that? Nice try, Lapo.
I think that, I think it should be a conversation. And again, Rick knows what he's doing and he'll handle what he needs to. But there are times that Scott Milanovic sat down Bo Levi to go, hey, we got to take a look at what somebody else can do. Now they give him an opportunity again. Because of injury, he's been spectacular. So, maybe a chance to get Vernon some opportunities can help. But no, I think they got to play better up front. They got to run the ball better. They got to do a lot of things just to help Nathan. It's not all on Nathan. And defensively, like I said, they really struggled stopping Bo down the stretch last week.
Tell me what's popping with you, and not just what you're doing on CFL on TSN, but on social media with your breakdowns and that kind of things. And let's get into that a little bit here, because I know the fans would really enjoy it. Maybe they don't all know about it.
Yeah, so I do. So I try to do like at least 2 or 3 coaches' playbooks a week, where I kind of take somebody and break down what happens in the course of a game. So I know I'm going to break down Zach Collaros' 6 touchdowns to start, and I'm going to make sure I take a look at some of the stuff the Riders did from a takeaway standpoint. So I usually post those, kind of break down, use the coach's film, and kind of explain that information, kind of like, this is what happened, this is the why. Just like if I was doing, in TSN, the problem with TV, you only have 10 seconds to speak or 30 seconds to talk, where I can do a little bit more long form content. So for the football fans that really want to learn about the game, you can post that. I post those in my YouTube channel, Paul LaPolice. You can watch those. But it's going to be a fun down the stretch. I can't wait. Like the games down the stretch to figure out. I can't tell you how crazy it is. The West, the East is going to be the first time we might get a crossover from the East, Rod, over to the West. Might be the first time in history. So it's going to be a great finish down the stretch.
I meant to bring this up with Darren earlier. I'll bring it up with you. I can't remember where I heard this phrase. Nobody knows anything. And I'll never forget it. I think it was in the book by Ari Gold, because like a month ago, I turned to somebody and said, do you actually think there might be a crossover from the East? They're like, no. Why are we even talking about it in August? Because you never know. And now here we are.
Yeah.
Now, that single point Sask got in Ottawa might be enough to not only get them home field, but for sure clinch a playoff berth, right? Because they got to have more points than the third place team, right? The fourth East has to have more points than the third place. Yeah.
Yeah, the Eastern team, doesn't matter whether they won both games, they have to have more points for them to cross over. But like the weird part is Calgary struggled this year, and I think they've been to the playoffs since 2003. So this will be the first time they don't go. So then you take Edmonton possibly out of the mix, and then you get a bunch of teams in the East to one game. So it is going to be, you're going to have Ottawa, Toronto, Hamilton all vying to compete with that, whoever comes out of this third spot in the West. So it'll be interesting to watch down the stretch. But Bo Levi Mitchell's been tremendous. Brady Oliveira. Winnipeg is, hats off to Osh. You knew Osh was going to, I talked to him a couple weeks ago about, what are you trying to do? He goes, same as we do every week, trying to get better, trying to play games. We didn't change anything when we were 0-4. We just tried to educate the players what we're doing wrong and continue to stay the course.
And away they go. Winners of, what is it now, 7 in a row, I think? And no reason to think that they're slowing down. Okay, Lapo, we'll let you get back with your day. Thanks for the time on here, man. Always good chatting with you.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. The CFL on TSN's Paul LaPolice.